laughing. Cheers, Carl. See you later.
Then what happens is they say, do you want half of his brain in your head?
She says, definitely not. I'm having you struck off. She starts screaming. She calls the police. He gets
Yeah,
arrested.
but you'd have said that years ago when people can have like someone else's arm put on their body and stuff.
Yeah, but he's only in a coma.
Yeah.
No, but he's not going to come out of that coma.
Right.
So it's like this or nothing. It's
Right.
like, look, you know, what we're going to do here? We can either turn the switch off, or we can put his head in your head.
But why would
Well,
you...
so what he does? So what they do then? They're going to take half his brain.
Half of his brain, taking out half of hers, pop it in place
Why would she do that?
because she loves him.
But hold on. Well, no. Wait. What would she then be?
Because this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Sorry.
What happens is, he explains all this. So I mean, this would probably cover about 20 minutes in the film, but I'm just rushing
I
rushing
switched
it up
off,
now.
but yeah.
No, you wouldn't. This bit would have you. So what?
Well, I'd have actually left when I wouldn't have even gone in to see a film starring Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay unless it was 1985.
So the thing is, she's the same as you. She says the same thing. She goes, "Why would I do that, Doctor?" And he goes, "Well, what will happen is, he's gone, but you'll have his thoughts. So in the morning when you say, oh, I don't know what to have, will I have cornflakes? His bit of the brain will sort of say,
Have a Weetabix.
have shredded wheat or whatever." And she's like, "Oh yeah, good idea."
Sorry. So the point of this film is that the dead man can remind her what breakfast cereal she likes.
Yeah. So the thought.
What do you mean? Yes. So that's it, is it?
No. That's not the only thing.
Wait a minute. This is only Act 1.
That's just the first bit. Everything's going well. She has it done.
So who is she? Is she herself?
She's Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah.
But now and again with him chipping in with a bit of voiceover. So the idea is it's all going well at the beginning. And she's
So she can't decide what dress to wear.
She's had half of her brain taken out and put in a bin.
Yeah.
Okay. And Clive Warren's half has been put in there. So now she's walking round. Okay.
So she's schizophrenic.
It's okay though, because the bit they put in of Clive Warren's brain is actually remembers in a coma. So there's nothing happening anyway. Don't worry about it. All she's got is half a brain.
No, like I say, the brain is alive, so it's all going well when she leaves hospital.
Yeah.
And she gets a first taste of it, and it's a bit weird to get hold of because she's sort of. I think when she signs herself out, he's sort of fighting, writing his name and stuff. So there's a few sort of technical things that she has to get used to.
And does Clive's brain
What
know
does he
that
think?
he's now inside her brain?
Does that matter?
Well, I would say it matters because otherwise,
Yes, it does matter, Carl. What's he thinking? What's the point of this? Why has she gone along with this?
Because she really loves him.
But what's in it for him? What does she think?
Well, say if I died,
Yeah.
and Suzanne said, "Go on, I'll have half of Carl's," right? She would wake up in the morning to a thought of me sort of going, "Oh, you never guess what I've just thought about," or whatever. I'd still be there.
But she
It's
would
only
never
physical,
do that.
isn't it? The rest of the rest of your body is sort of waste, isn't it?
But
Carl,
the rest of your body's sort of waste.
No, it is kind of. If when someone dies, it's
Yeah.
not that person anymore, is it? They're still there physically.
Yeah.
But you can't have a chat with them. So if you could have someone's brain in your head when they're dead, you'd have it, wouldn't you?
What are you talking about? Why would I have someone's brain in my head when they're dead?
Well, what
I've
else?
got a perfectly good brain.
Yeah. So, but like I said, you're running on half. So have
Who's
that in
running
there.
on half?
So you're telling me you wouldn't have it done then?
Of course I fucking wouldn't.
I can also.
But once you're in that position that someone who, you know, you love and that dies, if the doctor said, "Do you want it?"
No!
And you
I
go-
go, no! It's madness!
I don't think you
It's
wait.
madness!
Alright, let me just ask this as a question, even if we accept this as a possibility. If Clive Warren doesn't know that he's in Rebecca's brain, their love and the conversations they used to have and what would the connection between them is going to be absent because she's going to be talking to him and he's just going to be going, I don't know, shredded wheat.
It's all thought. You don't have to
So
talk.
they're not talking to one another.
Well, they are, but not out loud. She's not walking down the corridor going, "What do you think, Clive?" And,
Right.
and he's saying shredded wheat. It's happening.
Right. But
So-
how is this dramatically
so they're
shown
sort
on
of-
screen? Do we hear those?
So now that they've
You hear
got
the voices.
You hear the voices.
You hear the voices.
So tell me
anyway.
tell me a typical bit of dialogue.
Well, we've done the breakfast scene.
Yeah,
that was
okay, yeah.
dynamite.
Yeah.
That's fucking Oscar winning.
Yeah, can we do lunch?
There may be like at the funeral, because even though the brain's still alive, they still have the funeral, and you can have like a funny bit where they stood around the grave, and like there's some relation there who he doesn't like, and she can start laughing, and the family are looking at her going, why is she laughing?
Yeah.
And she's sort of laughing, and he's saying something a bit rude, going, look at her head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks like a
Stuff on
fucking
the
orange.
family.
Yeah.
Little cameo for you.
Yeah.
And so you have all that, and people are sort of liking the film, thinking, oh, it's quite funny, this.
Yeah.
And then you hit them
The
hard.
8 people that have gone to see it.
Yeah. Rebecca De Mornay and her family.
Yeah.
Clive Warren's 3 mates.
All right,
I
Clive.
didn't know you were a film star. No, I was in the garage yesterday.
Yeah, I was fixing boilers.
Anyway, this is where you get them.
It's the most ludicrous idea for film I've ever heard. It's the maddest. Honestly, it really is the ramblings of a mental case.
Right, I have to say though, I am hooked now. I want to know what's going to happen next in the story.
Oh Christ!
Remember, I was making all this up.
It's not based on a true story then.
Remember, imagine if he said that in a meeting. Remember, I'm making all this up, and they go, "All right, oh okay." I thought,
oh. So the meeting's still going on. They haven't left at this point.
No, they were sort of going, oh, right, yeah. But what annoyed
check
me...
please, check
But
please.
that's the annoying thing. It was like, I just wondered whether this is what they do just so they can have a cake every day at 4 o'clock, because it was odd. I can't imagine Spielberg sort of nipping down to Costa Coffee to discuss E.T. So I said, right, so this is where you get them. You've got everyone laughing, and that's what it's all about with a film, isn't it? It's emotions, messing with people's emotions and that.
Yeah.
So they like that. They were like, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, and there you go again. That's me.
outlooks of filmmaking.
That's me. That's my mouth coming out with stuff that even I didn't know I knew.
Yeah.
So then I said, right. Then what happens is, she hears the voice go, Leslie, where are you? Something.
Right.
Her name's not Leslie.
No.
No.
So she's thinking, who's Leslie?
Yeah.
So in her mind, she's going, who's Leslie? He's going, oh,
He's thought, hang on, I've let something slip.
I've
here.
let something slip. So she's going, answer me.
Oh.
He goes quiet on her.
Oh.
So
He was having an affair.
this is the thing. So she's trying to hunt down
Leslie.
Leslie.
And he's got to stop her thinking it.
Then what happens is, I mean, you know.
Where your ex?
So he's got to hunt down Leslie.
So she's got to hunt down Leslie.
Right.
And that can fill about half an hour again. I'm not
I love the
sure.
fact that you're doing how far you've got through the film.
Yeah. You've got to fill up 2 hours, right?
One more idea, we call it half hour, that's the end of the film. See you later, starring Clive Warren.
So
Nice to see Rebecca De Mornay again, wasn't it? Yeah.
So Leslie has got to be sought out. It's a woman, is it? Another Leslie, or
It's
is it a
another
bloke?
woman.
Right.
But what happens is, I mean, without ruining the end for everyone, what would sort of happen is,
Oh yeah, because you don't want to ruin it for them. Because this will be filling the multiplexes in no
Yeah,
time.
this film's definitely going to
This
be
is
made.
definitely going to get made.
well, seriously, isn't any pick a massive Hollywood film and look at it on paper and go, that's a balmy idea.
Casablanca.
Haven't seen it.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, what
That's
happens
why they
is,
called on him as a movie
Yeah.
expert.
This is a different sort of love triangle. They've all got their own brains and legs and stuff walking around interacting normally.
But that's just it. It's the power of love, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah.
But sorry,
How far
I mean,
you
I don't
go?
want to see.
No, it's the greatest love story ever told, set in a head.
But listen, let's just get to
hang
the
on a
end.
sec, though, Carl. I don't. Yeah, you've got to tell us the end. I don't think you can let people
No, come on,
listening.
come on, what's
hanging
the
on
end?
waiting for the film.
Just let your mouth talk.
Right, so what I said maybe, because I wasn't sure about this end bit. I
Go on.
thought they might think it's daft or whatever.
You're
So
putting
I said-
yourself down. I imagine it's dynamite. Go on.
I said maybe you could have something like this, and they were there sort of going, oh yeah, what's it going to be? What's it going to be?
Yeah, well, he's come up with some great stuff at the moment.
What happens is, his brain is more powerful than hers.
Right. How is there power? I don't. Why is there no power involved?
It's got a stronger will.
What I mean is, the brain, her brain was running the rest of her body.
Now he's taking over.
His brain's just sat there, innit, thinking stuff.
Right.
Brilliant.
So that gets more powerful and overrules her body.
Okay.
Yeah.
She then fancies Leslie.
So it's a lesbian
hold on,
film.
this is building up to a lesbian love. So what the?
Well, it's
what?
trendy, innit, that? So just have a bit of that at the end, and
That is the worst idea I have ever heard for any piece of art. I mean, it's the it would be the worst. It would be the worst TV show, worst book, worst everything. It's the worst idea.
it's not the worst idea, because as long as a film makes you think.
But this doesn't make us think about anything.
I'm thinking, who the fuck's Clive Warren? So hold on. So he overpowers her. So she is now a lesbian. What's Leslie getting out of this? Why does Leslie think, hold on, why is my dead lover's wife coming on to me?
Because this is what I'm saying to you. It's relationships. It's the love of two brains.
Right, okay, again, can anyone out there, can we
subline.
make that into it? That's a quote. The relationships is a love of two brains. Well, it's now, he's got something there, but my point is this, why is Leslie suddenly turned lesbian?
Because she loves the brain.
But does she know this is Clive Warren?
Well, maybe now and again, Rebecca or Clive says something. Rebecca will say something now and again, like, "Oh, I like me
Minge.
I like me, you know, me food done like this or whatever," and it's all about say if
I
like
love a food cooked. Wait a minute, Clive Warren on this food cooked.
Yeah, I'm in two minds about this bacon.
Yeah,
what I mean
turn
is
into a lesbian.
people
Shredded wheat.
people like what they like, and it's the same way, like I've said to you before, with someone who's been going out with a woman and then is found out that she's got a twin sister, and they divorce that first twin and go out with the other twin. It's all the same. You're after the same thing, aren't you?
Yes, but that...
When a cat dies, you buy another one. It's the same thing. You want that same.
Yeah, but you
love
don't
for
necessarily switch your sexual orientation. In the case of your twin scenario, they both look the same.
Yeah. Has there ever been one where it's a twin boy and girl? Well, I was going out with her, but I mean, he looks a bit like her.
Yeah. I loved boobs, now I like cock.
something. Well,
This is your problem. You don't know anything. And this theory about if your mouth talks enough, the brain will kick in soon, it hasn't.
Rick, you may be interested to know that Carl Pilkington, basically thanks to the efforts of your good self in making him into a household name, has got a book deal, and there's a book that will be coming out later in the year called Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish by Carl Pilkington.
What's that about, Carl?
What's the angle? Is it a novel?
well, again, I just was letting my mouth sort of think and what have you, just churning stuff out, and I was thinking about holidays that I've been on, because they always say write about what you know and stuff. So I thought, well, I've been on a few holidays. Write about them. I actually thought about it when I was on holiday.
Is it like a travel book then? It's your experiences?
It's just like a rough guide.
And have you done it? Have you finished the
Yeah, I've just got to do some pictures and that and colour them in, and then it's done.
when's that out? October?
Yeah.
So you say it's a travel book, and yet I've managed to get hold of a few pages, and this chapter is titled Australia. So
You've never been to Australia?
No, I know. But
Well, it's
but
not. How is it a travel guide?
No, it's not. It's not like wish you were here type thing. It's just saying, if you're going away, think about it.
Right.
It's just asking people to sort of think
But why
about.
don't they just let their mouth do the thinking? Why
No,
do
but just to have a read of like my thoughts, and you
Okay,
have the
that's
same.
what
You
then.
you don't know anything about Australia because you've never been.
No, but exactly. So I'm saying I've never been. This is why I've never been. Is this why you've never been?
Well, that makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. It's the point of this book.
It's not a pointless book.
Well,
that's-
Sorry, whereas you thought it was going to be what?
Right, can we read a bit of it then?
So this is the chapter entitled Australia. Box jellyfish, crocodiles, snakes, blue ring octopus, red-black spiders, funnel web spiders, great white sharks. Just some of the reasons that put me off going to Australia. Every creature is bigger and angrier than anywhere else on the world. I put it down to two things. One, it could either be because spiders and snakes and the like normally hide under rocks. The Earth is one big rock. Australia's at the bottom of the big rock, and they're trying to hide under it.
Carl,
Well,
you are a maniac!
It's just thinking about it, thinking about where spiders go and that works, doesn't it?
No!
Why doesn't that work like a
Because
rock?
there's no real upside down and bottom of the Earth, is it? It's all relative to what? It's relative to what? A map that you saw.
Well, it's a coincidence, isn't it?
no, right, okay, read on.
I've heard that a lot of people go camping in Australia, which I think's mental. If I was to fly all that way, I'd want a decent bed. Plus, I wouldn't be camping in a place where there are killer spiders wandering around.
I agree.
I've only been camping a few times, and each time I was glad when it was over. The last time was last year in Lyme Regis.
Yeah.
When did you go camping in Lyme Regis?
Last year. It's alright, Lyme Regis. But it was all a bit of a nightmare, because I was going with my mate, and he said he knew someone who knew someone who had a bit of land in the garden.
We had a bit of land in the garden.
What's the point, though, innit? You know, what's the point of camping in someone's garden where there's a sort of like a spa down the road and like a pub?
No, because you're by the sea, aren't you? It's getting away from it all, seeing the world.
It's not if you're in someone's front garden.
No, back.
Oh, sorry.
Well, there's even less to see except 3 fences.
No, but it's private, isn't it? So the thing is, he said, oh, it's a great garden, the owners are away, and there's a toilet, an outside toilet that they have for, like, when they have parties and stuff. So we get there, and this lad who knew about this bit of land...
Someone's back garden.
Well, yeah. Said, oh, you can't use it, they haven't gone on holiday.
So now you're stuck in the middle of quite a big civilised conurbation called Lyme Regis. How are you going to survive?
Well, we ended up just sort of keeping on the beach. But
did you pitch your tent on the beach?
Put the tent on the beach. We found a bit of... See, we found somewhere where there was a load of rubbish. So we thought...
nice.
That's the place to go,
No,
a municipal tip.
What was it? Was it chemical waste or just like, you know...
No, just Coke
just
cans and
syringes
stuff.
and...
lovely.
But listen, though, you've got to think about that.
Rusty, was something rusty?
If there's rubbish there, it means it was a good place to camp.
Why?
Because other people have camped there.
Right.
So that's how you've got to look at it. It's a way. That's like a little tip of...
I would love this to be a real guide.
So you could have slept in a public lavatory?
Yeah. This one's nice. What? It's covered in shit. Means other people have had a shit here.
Welcome to our 5-star hotel. You'll notice vomit over all the fucking walls.
So that means people have had a good time here. They got right pissed up and threw their lungs up.
So that's where we put down the tent. We put down the tent there, and then what was annoying is
he puts down the tent.
we what's her name?
It was already up.
It carried it all the way there. They won't let's pack it down.
The weird thing was, as soon as we set up, some other people turned up.
Oh, they saw the rubbish tip. Holiday makers. They that was probably in the guidebook.
They started setting up their tents. And we're like, oh.
No, there's some nappies over there.
Yeah,
near the nappies.
And they offered us some sausages.
Oh, right.
My mate said, "Oh, ignore them. That's like code for swingers."
What? No! What? So there were some people cooking some sausages, saying, "Would you like the sausages? We've made too much." And you said, "No, that's code for swingers."
Don't talk to strangers. It's like we want to get away from it all.
Yeah.
We don't want someone. You know, it starts off with sausages, doesn't it? And
but what do these people look like?
They were about 45.
Who are they? There?
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman. So what was in it for the bloke?
Some people like that, don't they?
No, I mean, you say, right, I want the bald one, love. If it's like wife swapping, should one of you be a wife?
No, but I don't know all the rules and that, but
he's just got a real thing for fucking oranges.
And we didn't want any sausages anyway, so we just sort of
don't believe sausages is a code for swingers. Because eventually, how many times did they give someone sausages and they go, "Well, get your pants off," and they go, "Well, we just have some sausages." They go, "Oh, this isn't working, this code."
But why
we need a better code.
Why would we be being offered sausages?
Because they're nice people and they're making sausages.
Makes you wonder.
Let's not trust these people. Let's move our tent nearer to the corpse.
So yeah, that was the camping.
I think I'd quite like to meet some proper Aborigines. It amazes me the way that these people still live like cavemen did years ago. They waste nothing. They have a use for everything. I saw some pictures in the paper about some tribe somewhere who chucked their spears at a helicopter that tried to land close to them. If the tribe got annoyed with you, they would let you know that they were annoyed by shaking their knob at you.
That's what they do.
Oh, God!
See, that's like a proper guide thing. Just in case you ever meet one, they start doing that.
Carl just ends that chapter by saying, "I don't know what the women do if they get annoyed."
Oh, God! Oh, God!
Within this new Carl book, of course, there are extracts from his famous diary. This is... You've actually been to Madeira, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a bit more of a factually accurate, informative chapter on Madeira. September 30th. Going away with Suzanne's mum and dad. We're meeting them at Madeira Airport as they're flying in from Manchester. The plane was full and I had a headache. There was a baby sat behind us that was crying its eyes out for the whole flight. Oh. The mother of it said it was upset because its ears were hurting. So were mine.
Oh, God!
We had to get 2 cabs to the villa because they couldn't fit 5 of us into one. It cost €85 each. That's just whinging. That's not anything.
That's dear though, isn't it? So dear way.
But it's not good because they don't know how far that was. They don't know that's rip off or how, you know.
It's just letting you know that
What? You don't know what the distance was. If it was a
Taxes a
mile,
day.
it's a rip-off. If it was 25 miles, it's a bargain.
And you know you can't get 5 of you in one cab. It's all little things that might help you on a journey.
Yeah.
Suzanne's dad said he liked the free biscuits that were in the cupboard. We went to try and find.
Sorry, this isn't useful as a guidebook at all. That is absolutely in that. I know. They go, well, as a guidebook, let's have a look. Oh, Suzanne's dad liked the free biscuits in the cupboard. And there's people complaining, and they're going to be like, there's no free biscuits in this cupboard.
We went to try and find a supermarket. Suzanne's man was having a go at her dad because he didn't have a shirt on. She said he looks a mess and is embarrassed to be seen with him. It's their Ruby anniversary tomorrow.
That's why we went away.
Oh, yeah.
I bought a fan to put in our room to drown out the sound of the mopeds. I've heard Wayne Rooney does the same thing with a vacuum cleaner. What? To drown out the sound of vacuum cleaners, or he puts a vacuum cleaner in his room
if
to
you've
drown out the
just
sound
got
of
a
the
noise,
mopeds?
if you've just got a noise that's constant, it makes you nod off, and it drowns out every other background noise. So all you've got is, like, if it's a vac, it's just, and if that's constant for like all night, you just nod
People
off.
next door going, they've got the vacuum cleaner on again. Put on the JCB. People next door going, they've got the JCB on. Get the poke the chickens.
That's how nuclear wars start.
Yeah.
It works.
Doesn't work.
We watched.
Earplugs, drown out everything.
I've tried them. I didn't like it, did I?
Why not?
Because I could hear my heartbeat.
Oh, you're such a strange little creature. Oh.
We watched Jerry Maguire in Spanish. Suzanne wanted to go to bed, but I just said I wanted to hear the "show me the money" line in Spanish to see if it's as catchy. It wasn't. October 3rd.
Sorry, it's Portuguese or Spanish?
I don't know what they're speaking in this country.
Madeira.
So it's Spanish and Portuguese, is it?
It's Portuguese, isn't it?
I think there's a mix. I think you get people going on
Portuguese,
holiday.
I think.
Yeah, but you get Spanish people going there.
Oh, okay.
So they sometimes show television programmes for possible Spanish holiday makers. Is that what you're saying? Or have you just got this factually inaccurate because he's a load of old toss?
Oh, God. Amazing. Oh.
October 3rd. Didn't do much this morning. Just think about this. Just think about this.
Why would you put it in?
As a holiday. Just think about this next line.
Judith Chalmers. What happened? Not a lot.
Think about this, Rick, as a description of a holiday.
Right, okay.
Okay. As Carl said, he loves to go travelling. It broadens the mind and everything. This is what he did. He's there with his family. He's in Madeira. Didn't do much this morning. Just sat by the pool, saving insects that flew into it.
I'm gonna die like fucking Noah. That's why you see nothing go.
How were you saving them? Did you wait for them to hit the water, then fish them out, or you grab them in the air?
Just see the legs going.
Oh, God.
Stuck my finger on the top. They grabbed on, lifted it off.
And what, when some sort of insect lifeguard, you'd see someone land and you'd go, right, that's me, and you'd go in there.
But it's hard to turn a sort of a blind eye to stuff like that, because you know that's something, you know, you're witnessing death. And if you can save something, you do, don't you? You do your bit. And at night, I'd sort of think, have they learnt the lesson, or will they be back, and will they be dead in here tomorrow? But if they can get an extra day, I've done my bit. I can't do more than that. I'm on holiday, do your bit. I'm lucky enough to see the world, do your bit.
I love it.
I did my bit.
I love it. I love the fact that he was running around saving flies and things.
It's just something. There's something so sort of.
Meanwhile, an old lady drowned.
Yeah.
While he was saving a beetle.
There's something so kind of, I don't know, desperately existential about your diary. That's what's so extraordinary about it. As he says, I just sat by the pool saving insects that flew into it. It was full of death. It's just so.
God!
It's so depressing. We walked round the shops. Suzanne's dad bought 2 packets of the biscuits he'd like to take back home with him. Suzanne's man bought a tin of corned beef. It was a bit of a boring day today.
Jesus.
There was a dead bird out the back.
Oh no, where were you, Carl?
Suzanne's dad said it looked like it had flown into a wall and killed itself.
No, I think it caught a few insects, but they were covered in chlorine, so it poisoned it.
Loads of ants were eating it.
Oh God.
I dug a hole under a tree and buried it. The ants were still all hanging around the scene of the death ages after the burial. Suzanne's dad said I should have left the bird for the ants to eat because I was messing up the food chain. I felt bad, so I gave the ants some breadcrumbs.
This is weird.
This is just so
This is
dark.
really weird.
It's good bread out there, though, isn't it? I should have put that.
We have to eat all the food we've got because we're going home tomorrow. Suzanne's mam cut her finger opening the corned beef tin and fainted.
Sorry, this is really weird. Why do you have to eat all the food?
Isn't this like what's that film, the Amityville Horror, where there's like a haunted house and there's dead insects and ghostly children walking through the corridors, old people fainting, insects. I'm just saving the insects, mother.
But you always eat all the food that's in the fridge before you go home, don't you? It's all there to be eaten. She bought some pikelets, which I've never had them. They like squash crumpets.
Right, okay, start again. Start the whole thing again. She bought some what?
Some pikelets.
Pikelets?
Yeah. And I didn't like them because they're not as fat as crumpets.
Oh, God! I just like a different
Didn't eat
language!
them, and it was a big upheaval because, like, I was going home and her dad kept trying to sneak them into our bags. Because he's like, they were for you, you take them, we don't want your stuff in our house. Once, because he gets a bit funny about stuff being left over. There's bins that you can't put certain stuff in. There's a bin in the lounge and I put a tangerine peel in it. He goes, that sort of stuff does not go in that bin. So it's rubbish, yeah, but it's not the right sort of rubbish.
Someone will camp next to it.
We want to get a better class of camper. Oh, that's the book. It's called Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish.
Yeah, that's from one of the chapters in it.
By Carl Pilkington. Get that soon.
Particularly if you're thinking of visiting Madeira or Australia.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. Thanks for listening to this. If you enjoyed this and you haven't heard the others, we've got the whole all 3 series on iTunes. You can go and download those.
The Ricky Gervais Show, is that what it's called?
It's called The Ricky Gervais Show. Yeah. Carl's also made a programme for me, Steve, on my Fame DVD, out in November. It's called Fame. So I thought of a little title, Fame, I'm Gonna Live Forever. Remember that guy we met who's gonna live forever?
Oh, yeah.
Called Howard?
Yeah.
That was a meeting of mine, and it's Carl meeting Howard, and it's
Got on with him.
It's really good, isn't it? It's really good, and he really gets on with him, and we're probably gonna do a new series of the podcast maybe next year. What do you think, Carl? If you're not too busy making this film with Clive Warren?
We'll see how it goes. Don't plan anything.
Yeah, just check out rickygervais.com. I am Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Carl.
Right.
Rick, in case there are people who've bought this and they've not really heard Carl before, remember we were talking a while back about the questionnaire that is often featured at the end of the TV programme Inside the Actor's Studio.
Oh, yeah.
Where the host, James Lipton, always asks the same questions to every guest. And it's just supposed to sort of, get their creative, juices flowing, their mind working. We did ask Carl some of them, we never completed the questionnaire.
Oh, let's
I thought
go
I'd fire a few more at him.
And that'll also introduce people to the way his mind works a little bit. Okay.
Question 6. What sound or noise do you love, Carl?
There isn't really one that I love. Nice noises,
Yeah.
like the ones you get. Like I like going in the park, right? And you go, oh, that's nice, isn't it? And you get like bird noises and stuff.
Give me your fucking wallet.
But then like
Things like nice noises like that, and
but
you fucking cunt. Why did you fucking sleep with her? It's lovely in the park, isn't it?
But with those bird noises comes a bit of stress, right? Because I was in there the other day, and like I say, little bird noises and that, and a little robin was there, and I thought that's odd, that's out early, right? Because it's like sort of summertime and that.
Sure.
And then I thought, oh, that's nice, and I was watching it, and then it got like a little worm, right? And I was like, hey, put it down, right?
Sorry, whoa! What do you mean?
Because
Why
I
are you
didn't have-
interfering? Why were you interfering
In nature.
with a robin taking a worm?
Just because it was a nice sunny day and that, and I thought, you see, worms normally come out when it's raining, don't they? And you go, well, I bet they're happy to die, in a way, because it's chucking it down, it's miserable. They come to the top of the soil then, don't they?
Yeah.
When it's miserable. But it was a sunny day.
That's they don't drown, I assume.
No, it's not that, is it? It's just that they hear the water or something falling on the ground.
What? No, wait. But why do they come up when they think it's raining?
Because they're hearing, like, knocking on their land, and they're going, who's that? And they come up.
Sorry, wait a minute. But why do you think they come up when it's raining?
Because they're hearing the noise of the
Yes,
rain.
but they know what it is. What am I doing? Why am I talking like him? Of course they don't know what it is. Look.
Can worms hear stuff?
Yeah.
Well, they got... You don't know anything, Carl!
But I assume they can sense vibrations and
Yes,
so on, but they can't
yes.
hear in the way we hear.
No,
they
of
don't
course
have
they
ears,
can't.
do they?
Of course they can't.
Well, whatever, right? So all I'm saying is that.
But
came
what was
up-
this thing about these worms? They hear the tapping and go, oh, what's that? Right, tell us... Okay, so start. You're a worm, okay? It starts raining. Tell me your thought process.
Well, you just kind of, you're down there, you can't see anything, it's dark anyway.
Yeah.
So,
And you haven't
hear
got
about
eyes.
this, don't you? You hear about blind people have got really good ears. And it's
No.
the same with a worm. No, they do, it's an extra sense. They
No,
say,
it's not. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. They start getting used to relying on them more, but it doesn't... So you don't turn into bionic woman because you lose your eyes.
No, but you do, because you use them more. If you use something a lot, you get better at it. So their ears are good. So all I'm saying is, so this rain's coming down.
I don't know who to believe here, Rick.
The rain's coming down on the land, the worm goes, what's going on?
The worm goes, what's going on?
He wiggles up to the top.
So what does he do?
So it goes up and it sort of sees it's raining, and then it goes back down again, doesn't it? But that's what I'm saying about the
What do
other-
you mean? What is this world where he goes, oh, it's just rain again? Oh, so that's the 400th time I've been caught out this year. It's rain. I'll remember next time. I won't come up. What do you think a worm is capable of in terms of cognitive thought?
What do you mean?
Well, a worm can basically tell certain chemicals and certain light patterns. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, and
It's not thinking. It's not choosing its favourite food.
but you
it's-
don't know that. It's the same way you're saying to me, I don't know what a worm's thinking. You don't know what it's thinking.
I know it's not thinking.
You don't know that, though, is what I'm saying. You don't know what things are thinking. Everything thinks. doesn't
No,
it?
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, the thinking.
There's something in this room that's not.
All right. What about this one then? What about flowers? Do you think they've got
A mind.
a feeling? Because here's something that
Again, they use phototropism. They go towards the sun. They close and
All right,
open.
well, here's-
Can you
they
stop
grow.
using long words, Rick, like sun?
Listen. Do you know I've been to my mum and dad's? Right. I was
Yeah.
talking to my mum about stuff,
All right.
and she was saying how this flower solved a crime. What happened was there was a murder,
Yeah.
right, in an office. So they said it's obvious that someone who works in the office did this murder because that person's only a sort of a typist. He has, they've done nothing wrong. So they said that's narrowed it down, right? So this flower man came in, and he said, "I can sort this out for you." So they said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, during the murder, the plant was knocked off the cabinet,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And he had some special wires that he can put on
Special
the flower,
wires, yeah.
on the flower, and it's sort of shaking and stuff because even though you can't see it, flowers pick up bad vibes and what have you. If you shake a plant, it doesn't like it,
Okay.
right? So what happened was, he said, "Right, what we'll do, we'll put the plant back on the shelf,
Yep.
we'll water it, we'll calm it down, then get
Get a nice cup of tea.
every member of staff
Right.
to come in the room
Yeah.
and just go near the flower.
Right.
So don't tell them."
So like a lineup for the flower.
kind
Yeah.
of.
Kind of like a
Yeah.
lineup.
But
sure.
don't tell them what we're doing. Just send them in
No.
and say, stand by that cabinet where the
Yeah.
murder happened and what have you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a long day. They were getting through a lot of stuff. It was a big office block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were going, this isn't working. The flower's not budging.
Mm.
Suddenly, they get into like the last part of the day when they were almost giving up.
They call in a sketch artist. The plant gives them a.
Some caretaker fella
Caretaker. Yeah.
said, go over there.
Was it?
You
Was
know,
it an
so-
old man that? I mean, because Scooby Doo didn't like him from the beginning.
No.
So is that why is that janitor so evil?
They send the caretaker over to the plant. He's going, he's thinking, I've got away with this.
Of course.
Plant starts shaking, what have you. They did him.
Okay, wait a minute then. So was there any other evidence?
Was that the only evidence they used in the trial?
Well, no, it's one of them things, though. Imagine it, if you're that caretaker and you're thinking, I've got away with this, then suddenly a plant grasses you up. You weren't expecting that. So suddenly you're off guard.
And you go, okay, can't get that chrysanthemum away from me, I did it. You're talking absolute bollocks. That was one of the most nonsense pieces of shit I've ever heard
But
in my
anyway,
life.
listen, well, it happened, but
It didn't
because you
happen.
said it. But what I was saying is about the worm, right? The worm that I saw, like I say, it was a sunny day. I thought, you know, what's that doing up here and what have you. So anyway, so this robin that I saw that was eating the worm, it had hold of it, and I thought it's a sunny day and that, give the worm a break, sort of thing. So I went, oh, like that, and it sort of dropped it in shock. But then when it realised I wasn't that near it, it picked it up again and swallowed it. And I just thought, oh, do you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean, no.
I just thought it's a sunny day and everything. Normally birds are nice noises that I like, and yet there it is going about wrecking lives.
Wrecking lives! It was a worm!
But it just swallowed it really quickly in that, and I thought, that's life, innit? That's what life is like. 1 minute it's there, then it's not. I just thought, there's the worm. It came out, it was happy, it didn't know what was going on, and it had an extra chance. The robin dropped it, and then it got it again and ate it, and I just made me a bit fed up.
Well, do you know why, don't you? You couldn't outwit a robin. You
People-
put it off, but then it won.
But
That's the terrible thing, isn't it? The worm was going, oh God, Carl Pilkington. So that's who's been sent to save me, is it God? You've sent Carl Pilkington, oh, I'm dead. That's it, okay, eat me.
But all I'm saying is our bird noises are normally quite relaxing, but not for the worm.
Unbelievable. That was one question.
Question 7. What sound or noise do you hate?
As me or as a worm?
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Why would we be asking the worm?
I've never heard an actor say that to James Lipton. When he says, what noise do you hate? What, as me or a worm?
No, but
Wow.
all I'm saying is, because of my last question, that's what I was saying. A bird noise is relaxing to me.
Right.
Well, it's not anymore, because I think of all the deaths and stuff that go around that.
So now you hate the sound of birds?
I'm just saying it's changed my view on it. It's
So
like anything, isn't it? Every noise can mean a disaster somewhere.
Can it? Why?
Think of some other noises you like. Okay, what's a lovely noise?
No, hang on. Why would the sound of laughter, people laughing, why would that suddenly cause? Why would that also signify disaster?
Asylums.
Yeah, that's depressing, isn't it?
They're always laughing in asylums.
But it's a scary laugh, isn't it?
What?
It's like, oh, if you wake up in the night by the sound of like a baby laughing.
Baby laughing.
No, if I had a baby, right,
Yeah.
and Suzanne was out, she worked nights or something,
Yeah.
and I'd nodded off, I'd put the baby to sleep,
Yeah.
and then it's 3 in the morning, and I'm woken up by the sound of a baby laughing, that would terrify me.
How is this? I just think the baby's sitting up in a chair like Chucky, going.
Well, no. I think the baby's reading his diary, thinking, "Oh Christ, this is my father." I just hope I'm adopted.
Oh God, a baby laughing. Oh God! Come on, no, I'm not getting off this subject, right? So, what other sounds, right? What other sounds, right? More you like? Come on, there must be sounds you like.
No, the sounds he hates are even more fascinating. This terrifying, haunting baby laugh.
I don't think you can pick any sound and say, I like that.
I imagine we don't like the sound of a tiger. Evolutionary speaking, that's probably not a good sound to hear.
But there are obviously some calming noises because, you know, when your mother sings you a nursery rhyme or something when you're a kid,
Your mother's
very
voice,
calming.
of course, your mother's voice. That's probably pre-programmed for you to like it.
Yeah. So there's a time and a place. A lion's roar, or whatever you just mentioned, a tiger growling, it's alright. If you're in a zoo, you go, oh, look at that. So there's a time and a place for everything, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know what that point is. I don't know how
No,
that
no.
relates.
Because I mean, I live in London. If I woke up and heard the sea, I'd be worried. I'd go, what's gone on?
You're like the worm who hears the rain.
Question 8. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
This is you as you, not as you as a worm.
But have I had the training?
Oh, for
Oh,
No, well, I've said before, haven't I, about maybe having a go at an operation.
don't know why it leaps from where it leaps from no ambition, where if he could have a job, it would his best job he's ever had is a paper round, and if he could have a job, he'd like go to the cobbler once a week and then walk a dog. To I'd like to have a go at thoracic surgery.
No, I'm just saying. I bet it's like we do this, and you know, some people like listening to it and what have you, and you go fair enough. But I never feel like I'm doing anything of any worth.
No, you're absolutely right there.
But if you're going into like an hospital, which are places that are pretty miserable anyway, as an office space, do you know what I mean? When you're in waiting rooms and that.
I'd hate to have my office in A&E.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's loads of ill people coming in. They're normally upset. Do you know what I mean? It's even if the sun's out, it's a depressing building, isn't it?
There's people handcuffed to policemen.
Not only have you got to go in that building and work in it, but you've then got the pressure of changing a lung or whatever I've said before. Right?
Changing a lung, yeah.
But I'd like to have a go at it so I can say...
You've done it.
I've done that.
So, under what circumstances, in what world, do you think anyone's going to let you have a go at changing a lung and that? Jim will fix it?
No, I'm just saying the
Comic
way...
relief?
But the way the world is, and the way that there's more and more people, more and more doctors are needed. I mean, it's already happening now that people are doing jobs that they're not really qualified for because they get sort of what's the word? Sort of uppered too early.
Uppered.
Uppered! I love the fact it's basic language. It's like it's unbelievable. It's like there are only sort of like 50 words in the English language, so he has to change them and customise them. Uppered.
Do you know what I mean?
Promoted.
Yeah, promoted.
Yeah.
They get promoted.
I prefer uppered.
Uppered's great.
So
why was I not uppered? Unbelievable.
So do you know what I mean? I think because more and more people are knocking about, we need more and more doctors.
Yeah.
You get a job in a doctor's, you're going to be promoted sooner now, I think.
Yeah. Well, what I'd do is I'd probably upper you, and then what's the word? You go away them.
I think it is you go away them.
You leave the door. You leave the door. You fire them. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'd upper you and go away the doctor, if anything.
But I've been to. You know how I don't like going to the doctors and stuff?
Yeah. Because you're always scared that they might investigate below the bridge.
Yeah, but I checked on that before. I signed up to it, and then they said, right, before we can take you on as a patient, you've got to have a health check. Right, which I thought was odd, because it's almost like saying, if you're ill, we can't be having you coming here. Right? But I said, right, okay, fair enough, what is this health check? And they said, oh, we just check your body out and make sure you're fit and healthy. And I thought that isn't enough information. I want to know if it's the old finger trick, or and I said, what do you mean though? When you said health check, what do you do? And she said, oh, it's just. I think she knew what I was getting at, and she said, oh, it's just the blood pressure, your height, your weight.
Okay.
But you had to, before you sort of said, right, I want this doctor. They give you loads of forms to fill out, right? And one of the things they did was if you die, what do you want to give away? Right, like a donor. And it had like it's basically everything you've got in you. It was all your main bits: your liver, your heart, your kidney, and what have you. And I thought I really thought about it for 40 minutes or so. I didn't just rush into it. I was sat there thinking, if I'm dead, does it matter and stuff? But I was really concerned when it said about the eyes.
Right. Why? What do you mean? What? Because can they have your eyes after you die?
It was. I think it was 4th on the list.
Right.
So they just sort of crammed it in. I think they know everybody's a bit cautious about giving their eyes away.
No one cares more about the eyes than the liver or the. Why do you care about giving your eyes away when you're dead? Just
because of that thing of we don't know for sure yet. I know that you poo-poo it, but the afterlife thing.
Right,
you don't know for sure if.
Well, why would there be? How would there be? How would it work? Why do you think there's an afterlife? Why do you think there's? Why?
Because we're here already. It blows my mind that we're wandering about this planet anyway. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we're here, just by
gravity blows your mind, Carl.
No, but do you know what I mean? The fact of your mum and dad have it away, and then you just pop out, and it's like, how's that happened? And then it's the
what
fact
happens
that
is the father inserts his.
No, but what I mean is, not just that bit. How I've said before about my heart just sort of pumping away on its own. No one's keeping an eye on it. It's not plugged into anything. And yet I want to move my hand like that, and it does it.
Yeah.
That blows me away, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're still worried about whether you control your brain or the brain controls you.
So what I'm saying is, how do you know what goes on after life? Because, do you know what I mean?
So why in an afterlife would you want your eyes more than your liver and your kidneys and your lungs and your heart?
Because ghosts don't eat, do they? So you don't need all your liver and your kidneys and stuff, because they're only there to sort your food out. But your eyes, if you're a ghost, I don't want to be a blind ghost. Because you're around forever then, aren't you? Once you're a ghost, that's it. So the idea of being blind when you're alive, you go, well, alright, then maybe in the afterlife I might be treated to a pair of eyes. But the fact of wandering about, dead for years, bumping into stuff...
Oh God! Oh, it's amazing!
So,
that's an amazing image!
So I didn't tick that box.
But why? I don't understand. In your theory of the afterlife, why is it that this ghostly Carl, why can he survive without a heart, but he can't survive without eyes? Why? Do you see what I mean? Surely, if you're this ghostly apparition, you can just see everything and you can do everything. You don't need the body.
No,
because you're a ghost.
Yeah, I know, but I think when you're a ghost, say like how they've seen ghosts in.
Right, could I just say now for any listeners, this is not the thoughts and beliefs of the management. There is no such thing as ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts. I do not believe in ESP or any mumbo jumbo. Carry on, Carl. So when there's a ghost, yeah.
When they see ghosts in like old castles and stuff,
yeah,
they've had their head cut off because they've been up to no good, right? Years ago.
But they're carrying it around normally under their arm.
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't reattached itself. So if you take the eyes out.
But Carl, how is this ghostly creature able to function? It doesn't have its head on anyway. It's carrying it under its arm. So the suspicion is it doesn't need its head.
No,
it just happens to be carrying it around because it wants to keep it with it.
The ghost is always in the last condition that it was in when it was in.
What makes these rules?
The way you are in your last bit of life is how you are as a ghost forever, even in the fashion. Like I say, the ghosts that you see never wear modern clothes, do they? It's always the Victorian stuff. Now, if they could change it, they would, but they can't because they stuck with it. So that's
why did you see cavemen ghosts? When did ghosts start? They didn't kick in till about 1830, did they? What if you die when you're having a rectal examination? Are you always bent forward with your trousers around your ankles and someone's finger up your arse?
But why would you die when you're having that done? That's why I'm not having it done. If that's what you said.
No. But you might have both been suddenly killed in a terrible disaster.
Yeah, a meteorite hit you.
A meteorite hit you, or
that's when you get the moaning ghosts, isn't it? They're the ones who aren't happy.
So you're going round bent forward. You've got a doctor's finger up your arse,
yeah.
And what are you doing?
You start going, oh, and that's when you have to get the vicar round.
What do you mean?
Because they have to put you to rest and what have you, don't they?
And what does a vicar do when he's going? So I get the vicar round. Okay, right.
I don't want to get caught with someone with their finger up my arse when the vicars come round.
The last thing I want to catch me is the vicar coming in, but I've got a doctor's finger up my arse. I usually hide in the wardrobe when that happens.
Whenever that happens.
So listen, wait. So you're haunting, right? It's years later. It's 100 years later. You're around this doctor's surgery, and there's people coming, and the doctor there, the new doctor there, and it's 2073, and they go, Vicar. They go, Vicar, there's a strange ghostly apparition. It looks like an old doctor, right? And he's got his fingers up this sort of like little. It's like a chimpanzee, but with a shaved head.
No, but the doctor wouldn't be. Are you saying the doctor dies as well?
Yeah, they die. You die at the same time with his finger up your ass, and so you're forever having a little rectal examination with your little trousers around your ankles.
Well, that's when it'd be best not to have your eyes. Here's another one.
This is extraordinary.
No, but listen to this. Listen to this. This is a good one.
Oh, this will convince us. This one.
Yeah, this way. Okay.
This
will be proof. Go on.
I watched the programme the other week about dead people.
Of course you did.
Right? And it was people who had been found in their house. You know, they haven't got any family.
Yeah.
They died, sat in their armchair. Nobody's knocking on the door, ringing them and checking if they're all right.
Yeah.
Right? So they die and they rot away in a chair.
No.
People, you know, the next door neighbour called up whoever you call up for dead people and go, there's a dead body next door, it's stinking, can you come and get rid of it? Right? They go in and
I forget what service that is.
I don't know where you find that in the Yellow Pages.
It's a good business though, isn't it?
Hello, corpse removal.
Stinky dead people.
So they go in, there's flies everywhere.
Of course there is, yeah.
The doors and the windows are shut. Where are them flies from?
What do you mean?
Do you know that thing, reincarnation?
Yeah.
I think there it is. There's an example of it. How there was no flies in there. A body rots away. Out of the body comes flies. So you live on.
Or out of the body comes flies from the maggots that were in the body.
Oh, okay, maggot then. So we've gone on. We've lived on.
What do you mean?
I'm just
the
saying
fly
now, it
isn't
lived
a
on.
reincarnation of the maggot. The maggot is the larval stage of the fly.
No, but forget all the maggot fly.
Right.
Think about going from man to a fly.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying the windows and the doors on this house was shut tight.
Now,
no,
your
no
question
flies
is-
had got in. They hadn't got in.
They had got in?
They hadn't.
They're already there. We're surrounded by them. We've probably got fly eggs on us now.
Well, all I'm saying is, it's weird that them flies were in there when they weren't in there. I don't think this fella would have had loads of fly eggs on him.
But
I just think it's a bit odd.
Why? What do you mean?
I just think there was loads of them. You didn't see it.
But it only takes one fly to lay loads of eggs.
Yeah, but
So you think it's wiser to ignore Ricky's answer and go with your ghostly supernatural reincarnation one? You think that's the wise, sensible way to go?
I just think it's a bit odd how every time someone's got fly eggs on them.
So that to you is less of a chance of happening than when you die. Some of you turns into flies, fly parts.
Well, that happened when my dad chucked a turkey away in a bin. And it was only in there for about a day. I went to go and put like a crisp packet in the bin at the end of the garden and what have you. Picked the lid off, full of flies.
Yeah.
Now the bin lid. Yeah.
It's like a constant fight with his own brain.
was fairly sealed and what have you.
Yeah.
Again, it's the turkey living on.
No, it's not.
We're
It's
all
the
the
fact that
same.
while it was out on the table.
It hadn't been out on the table. We didn't eat it in the end because it had feathers on it. My mum said, "I'm not doing that."
Yeah, but what do you mean it had feathers on it?
My dad got it off a mate and said, "Yeah, I've got this for Christmas," but it was still virtually alive. And my mum said, "Oh, I'll just get one from the supermarket." So we put it in the bin.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is,
I'm telling you, the eggs were already on it, mate.
it's just an idea about it. It's a theory. Everyone's allowed one.
But it's bollocks.
Back to the Inside the Actors studio questions. Question 9. What profession, Carl, would you not like to do?
You see, in a way, some bad jobs are good jobs in a way. Because, one, it means that when you have holiday, you really appreciate it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you see, I always thought, like, when I had a job where I used to have to do, like, 4 hours a night when I worked through the night, I only had 4 hours to do from 2 in the morning till 6, right? But it meant that when I was on holiday, I never really appreciated it, because between 2 and 6, I'd be asleep anyway. So, unless I got up at 2 in the morning and went, I'm relaxing now, instead of working, you don't get the full...
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. The rules that you live by, about what you can enjoy and what you can't.
What's good with a holiday, right? If you work in a factory from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, packing socks into a rubber bag, right? Between 8 and... What time did I say my
8.
shift was?
8. It's a 12-hour sock packing job. It is murder.
I also like socks into a rubber bag.
Yeah.
I love to get my socks in a rubber bag. And also, he forgot the timings immediately. He said the sentence, then it went out of his head. It's like, so if you're packing, from 8, what time did I say it was? What are they packing?
So, alright, so you're a sock stuffer, you do a 12-hour shift.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So, you go, oh, come on, Rita, no more socks for me. I don't want to see another sock for a week. You got the rubber bag? Don't bring the rubber bag. That's the last thing I want to see.
So what I mean is, when you're on the beach, right, by the sea, between 8 and 8, you're thinking, oh, this time yesterday I was packing socks in a rubber bag. And you can really enjoy it. You can keep going, oh, an hour later you can go, oh, I was packing socks yesterday.
Yeah.
And you can
I'm
keep
glad you're
saying
enjoying it, love. Will you stop going about the fucking socks? We're on holiday.
I don't think this marriage is going to last.
Oh, look, Rita, I know, you were packing fucking socks yesterday. Let's not fucking talk about it for a week. you boring bastard. Oh, Rita, what? This time I know you were packing fucking socks in a rubber cunting bag.
No, I was having lunch at this time, you fucking slut.
Oh, Christ almighty.
So what I was saying is, when I was working from 2 in the morning till 6. To really enjoy being off from there, if I was on holiday,
you'd have to get up in the middle of the night
to go, oh, this time yesterday I was playing.
Surely the joy is not having to get up in the middle of the night. Then when you get up and thought, God, thank God I didn't have to get up in the middle of the night like I usually do. I slept through like a normal person. Surely that's the joy.
I think the joy is going, oh, I'm normally doing this at this time.
But that's ridiculous, because if you worked right till 6 AM, you presumably went to bed and slept in till sort of 3 in the afternoon or something, yeah? So you'd be up at 10 AM going, wow, usually I'm asleep, so you get it then. So you're talking shit again.
And the final question from the Inside the Actor Studio questionnaire. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Is that how it works?
Oh.
No, you hear so many other things that you have to go through other gates. I can't imagine him being on the door, is what I'm saying. If he owns the place, what's he doing there? He could put anyone on it.
It's St. Peter, isn't it, who's normally minding the gates, famously.
Right, so it's him asking me.
Okay, well, let's say it's St. Peter.
No, you go through the gate, Peter goes, oh, you're expected, he's got an appointment, we're going through the God. You go through the God, you go through a few doors, go up the top floor, right, past the executive washroom, into his big office, okay, that overlooks the universe.
And God says, why have you got a doctor with his finger up your arse?
And you go, well, you should know, you caused it.
So what?
So you've gone in to see God, it's an audience with God, you've died, you've gone to heaven, and what would you like God to say to you at that point? He might offer you great wisdom, he might ask you a question, he might tell you something. What would you like him to say?
And is this just one visit? This is like, because it's my first day.
Yeah, it's your first day, you get a chat with him, yeah.
But after that, I don't.
Well, you might bump into him at the odd, the
Christmas party,
the AGM.
But I'm not going to be myself, am I? I'm going to be in shock a little bit, because it's like, I mean, I'm not comfortable on the first day of holiday, because you're in different surroundings, the hotel, you've got to get used to where everything is. Yeah. So he's not going to get the best out of me.
Well, no, but you have eternal bliss.
Yeah, he's got a long time to get to know you, and he knows everything anyway, so don't worry about it.
So what does he see me then?
What would you want God to say to you? So you walk in there, you're happy with it because you understand now you're dead and it's a whole new world and everything's alright, you feel great. Like, what am I saying?
Well, anyway,
I'm going along with this drivel.
Yes.
What would you like God to say to you?
Alright.
Probably just say, oh, you've done well and that in your life. You never did anybody any harm. So welcome to heaven. Any problems, give us a shout. Here's a little layout of like a little map. It's kind of like.
I love this. This is a great answer. And my favourite one is you never did anyone any harm. That's great. That's a brilliant thing for God to say.
Yeah.
So hang on, he's giving you a little map.
So he's giving you a little map of the area.
Map, and he'll sort of say, this is where you go for this is where you go for that. I'd probably ask him about the ghost situation. I'd say, am I now a ghost then? Or is this just like another planet that I've come onto?
Right.
I don't know if he'd answer that. I don't know if he'd be a little bit...
A bit cagey.
Yeah, a little bit like, well, I don't want to panic you and stuff. I'd say, right, is it right that I can see past family and that? Because to be honest, I'd probably prefer to stay away.
He doesn't even want to!
No, but because the thing is, if you've done I've done all that in this life, so it's about moving on to another life and meeting different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? It's just like the same all over again, but everywhere's white.
So, who's the worst person? You get to heaven, and it's all great, and God goes, oh, look, and here's so-and-so, and you go, oh, what's he doing here?
Yeah. But why would he be introducing me to that one?
Oh.
No, I'm saying who's the worst person you'd like to see? And
who do you just not want to encounter in heaven?
What if he said, right, Carl, you're in heaven, but we've got to teach you a lesson. You're a bit cruel to freaks. Here's Pillow Man, here's the three-legged juggler, here's the Elephant Man, They've got a few questions.
Yeah,
Elephant
that'd be alright. That'd be
Elephant
fair
Man goes,
enough.
"Why did you talk about me like that?
I'd say I never had a go at you.
Why did you talk about me eating buns?"
But then I'd get a bit annoyed with God. I'd turn Elephant Man onto God. I'd say, well, hang on a minute. At least when he put his head down on that pillar and he did himself in, he did that because he was sick of life. You've brought him up here. He's still got the head. Why didn't you give him a better head whilst he was up here in his next life?
Well, he could say the same to you.
Heaven's beginning to sound like one of the worst drink stews ever. It's awful. Everyone's sort of making kind of snipey comments, and you're having to make conversation with people you don't really want to talk to.
Yeah, it is
God, I'm not sure God's the best host.
I mean, I don't know if it is like
Do you
this.
think God would like this podcast?
Well, I suppose it just kills half an hour, doesn't it?